The New Mutants is a superhero horror film set in the X-Men universe. Directed by Josh Boone, it blends elements of suspense, psychological thriller, and action. The story follows 5 young mutants who are kept in a mysterious facility where they must confront both their past traumas and a sinister force connected to their powers. The movie begins with Danielle, Danny Moonstar, a young Cheyenne girl, waking up to her father pulling her from their burning home after a strange, unseen force attacks their reservation. Danny's father hides her, but he is killed, and Danny is knocked unconscious. She wakes up in a hospital-like facility run by Dr. Cecilia Reyes. Reyes explains that Danny is the lone survivor of the disaster and that she is being kept in the facility for her safety and to learn about her mutant powers. Inside, Danny meets 4 other teenage mutants: Ron Sinclair, a Scottish girl with the ability to transform into a wolf; Ilyana Rasputin, a Russian mutant with a dark, sarcastic personality. She can teleport through a dimension called Limbo and wields a mystical sword; Sam Guthrie, a Kentucky boy who can propel himself at jet speeds, but struggles with control; Roberto da Costa, a wealthy Brazilian who can generate and manipulate solar energy. Dr. Reyes tells them they are not ready to join the X-Men yet. She monitors them and claims she is preparing them to control their powers before they can leave. However, the facility is locked and shielded by a powerful invisible force field, making escape impossible. When Danny first wakes up in the facility, she feels lost, scared, and completely alone. Everyone else seems to already know their place there, but she's the outsider. Most of the group keeps their distance, or, in Ilyana's case, mocks her and calls her Pocahontas. Ron, however, notices Danny's vulnerability. Unlike the others, Ron isn't cruel or dismissive. She approaches her gently, speaking in her soft Scottish accent. She introduces herself, not as a patient, but as a friend. From the very beginning, Ron shows Danny something she desperately needs: kindness without judgment. Danny lost her father and her entire community in the mysterious attack that brought her to the facility. Ron was branded a witch by her priest, cast out by the only family she ever knew. Their pasts are different, but their pain is the same: rejection, loneliness, and the weight of not belonging anywhere. As they talk, Ron begins to open up about her faith, her guilt, and her fear of being evil because of her powers. Danny listens without mocking her, something Ron isn't used to. In Danny's presence, she feels safe enough to be vulnerable. They sit outside, looking up at the sky trapped above them, talking about freedom and what life might be like beyond the facility. When Danny is shaken by terrifying visions, Ron is the one who comforts her, holding her close and whispering reassurances. Ron struggles with her religious trauma, but Danny reminds her she's not a monster. This acceptance plants the seed of deeper trust. What begins as comfort slowly transforms into something more. Their friendship deepens into intimacy, an unspoken understanding that they are both broken in ways the others don't quite understand. In one of the most tender scenes, Ron and Danny share a kiss. It isn't dramatic or forced, it feels natural, the culmination of trust, comfort, and mutual care. For Danny, Ron becomes her anchor in this strange, frightening world. And for Ron, Danny becomes proof that she is not a sinner or a monster, but someone capable of love and being loved. As the group tries to adjust, unsettling things begin to happen. Each mutant experiences terrifying visions tied to their past traumas. Sam sees hallucinations of the mine collapse that killed his father and co-workers. Roberto relives an incident where he accidentally burned his girlfriend alive. Roberto comes across as the confident, charming one of the group. He jokes, flirts, and tries to act like nothing bothers him. But beneath that smooth exterior lies his darkest secret: he accidentally killed the girl he loved. Roberto grew up in wealth and privilege in Brazil. To everyone else, he had the perfect life: handsome, athletic, and rich. But when his mutant power of solar energy first manifested, he couldn't control it. In an intimate moment with his girlfriend, his body ignited in uncontrollable flames. She burned alive in his arms. From that day, Roberto carried the guilt and horror of killing someone he loved most. Thanks to Danny's power of pulling nightmares into reality, Roberto's buried trauma manifests in terrifying ways. While swimming in the pool, Roberto sees his girlfriend's charred corpse floating toward him. He is paralyzed with guilt, unable to even call for help, because the vision is a direct reminder of what he did. The hallucination forces him to relive that night, the fire, the screams, and the look of betrayal in her eyes. Ron is haunted by memories of being branded a witch by a priest. Ron, also known as Wolfsbane, grew up in a deeply religious Scottish village. From a young age, she was taught that her ability to transform into a wolf was not a gift, but a curse. Her community believed she was possessed by the devil. Her own priest, whom she trusted as a spiritual guide, branded her with a red-hot iron cross on her neck, marking her as a sinner. Instead of support, Ron received rejection, abuse, and humiliation from the very people she sought love and belonging from. In the facility, Ron's trauma comes to life through Danny's uncontrolled powers. She begins seeing and hearing the priest who scarred her, his voice echoing accusations of witch and abomination. Her visions push her into states of panic. Whenever the priest's shadow appears, Ron is reminded that her worst fear isn't the physical pain of the branding, it's the belief that she might truly be evil, unworthy of love, and damned by her own faith. Ileana is tormented by sinister creatures called the Smiling Men, linked to her abusive childhood. Danny, meanwhile, is unsure what her own powers are, but strange events intensify after her arrival, suggesting she might be the cause. The mutants bond slowly. Danny and Ron form a close friendship that grows into romance. But Ileana distrusts Danny, calling her Pocahontas, and often bullies her. At first, the 5 young mutants barely trust each other. They all carry trauma and guilt connected to their powers, so opening up isn't easy. But being trapped together in the facility forces them to interact, and slowly, small bonds begin to form. Sam shares his regret about the mining accident that killed his father and co-workers. Roberto tries to put on a confident, jokey front, but the others see glimpses of his guilt over burning his girlfriend alive. Ileana keeps herself distant and sharp-tongued, hiding her pain with sarcasm. Ron, kind and soft-spoken, often acts as the emotional bridge, easing tension when things get heated. Through shared meals, therapy sessions, and moments of rebellion, like when they sneak off to have fun together, they start to feel less like strangers and more like a group. The group begins to suspect Dr. Reyes' true intentions. She claims to work for Professor Xavier, but Ileana points out that Reyes is likely working for the Essex Corporation, a secretive group known for exploiting mutants. Eventually, the truth emerges. Danny's mutant ability is to bring people's deepest fears and memories to life, a power she cannot yet control. All the terrifying visions are the result of her subconscious projecting the other's traumas. After a series of terrifying incidents inside the facility, Dr. Reyes realizes that Danny is the cause. Her mutant ability, bringing fears to life, is too unpredictable and dangerous. Reyes receives orders from the Essex Corporation to eliminate Danny before her powers grow out of control. Reyes pretends to care for Danny but secretly plans her death. She straps Danny to a medical bed, explaining that the sedation will make her sleep peacefully, hiding the truth that she intends to kill her. Danny is terrified but too weak to resist the heavy sedation Reyes administers. Just as Reyes is about to finish the procedure, Danny's powers manifest on a massive scale. Her deepest fear, the monstrous demon bear, erupts into reality. It crashes through the facility, shattering Reyes' control. The bear's attack forces Reyes to divert her attention from Danny and use her own mutant ability, creating protective force fields, to survive. This chaos buys time for the other mutants, Ron, Ileana, Sam, and Roberto, to step in. Ron rushes to Danny's side, helping break her free from the restraints. The rest of the team engages the demon bear, keeping it distracted while Danny remains unconscious. Reyes tries to keep Danny contained, but the bear's overwhelming power eventually kills Reyes, ending the immediate threat against Danny. Even though she's saved from Reyes, Danny is still in danger, because her own power created the demon bear. It continues to attack the group until Ron whispers to Danny and encourages her to wake up. Danny is unconscious during most of the fight, but Ron urges her to wake up and face her fears. Danny finally accepts her power and confronts the demon bear, realizing it is tied to her own trauma and fear. By calming herself and embracing her strength, she disperses the entity. With the facility destroyed and Dr. Reyes dead, the mutants are finally free. They step outside the compound together, unsure of what lies ahead but determined to face it as a team.